What's going on in Hollywood? Well, taking a look at the box office this weekend, and fine, I guess. Nothing really, leaps off the page at you. A bunch of holdovers, staying right up there at the top. Kung Fu Panda 4 taking its second straight box office victory. Dune Part 2 performing very, very well. In fact, I think it ended up winning Saturday, and yeah, it definitely looks like it's on pace for $700-800 million as long as it stays there. So that's good, man. We want good films to be rewarded. I haven't heard really anything about Kung Fu Panda, and at this point in time, and no news is kind of good news. Kung Fu Panda 4 stayed on top in the North American box office for its second weekend in theaters. Universal and DreamWorks animated movie earned $30 million in ticket sales, according to studio estimates on Sunday. Franchise featured, yes, the voice of Jack Black. He's there once again, blah, blah, blah. We know. The franchise responsible for over 1.9 billion. I didn't realize that the four Kung Fu Panda, are they also, tying in those other spin-offs? I think Kung Fu Panda has some spin-offs. I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise. Haven't seen any of the installments, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm against it. It's just, I'm a little bit out of the key demographic. I think we can pretty much safely assume that. At the box office since it launched in 2008 and spawned several animated series, shorts, video games, and holiday specials. Fourth installment, playing at 4,067 locations in North America, has already made $107.7 million domestically. Hell, that's a damn good haul, but comparing and contrast that with Dune 2, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all, because we can look at the weekend numbers, and frankly, depending on adjustments that we might find out by the end of the week, obviously we'll find out by the end of the week, but maybe within the next couple of days, neck and neck, man. Neck and neck with Dune Part 2, which has incredible word of mouth, really good legs, given the fact that it's only dropped off, 37% between week 2 and week 3. That's awfully good, with an average of 75. It's actually got a better average theater score, $7,500 per theater. That's pretty crazy, actually. And Arthur the King, what was that saying in that New York Post? Okay, that was a Mark Wahlberg joint. Interesting. So that was a big debut, and then you take a look at the rest of the list, and oh man, in our wildest dreams, we never thought it was going to be possible, but we have the Webster here, and it's just, I think it's hitting streaming services by the end of the week, and it's not going to crack $100 million worldwide. It made $400,000. You could take a look at the numbers right there. It made $400,000 this weekend. It's not hitting $100 million. That is amazing to think about. Sydney Sweeney, on sheer exposure, probably made more money this weekend than Madam Web did. It's so wild to think about. But coming in at number 9, another movie that had quite a bit of fanfare. I don't even know if I could get tickets for this. I would imagine, given the fact that it's only in 1,147 theaters across North America, up here in northern Alberta, wouldn't have had the opportunity to see it even if I wanted to, but the American Society of Magical Negroes finally graced the box office with its presence, and well, 1.25 million. Oh, that's really bad, man. That is really bad. That more than likely ended up underperforming estimates, but I don't really think anybody was anticipating this thing was going to be big of a contender. Quite frankly, it came out a couple years too late. If you were going to be riding that whole white people bad, black people infallible wave that was coming in hard in 2021, that would have been the time to drop this stuff. But here at the beginning of 2024, you didn't even release it in Black History Month. Like, you couldn't even, got that artificial boost off of it. So this just gets dropped in the doldrums of March to languish and die. And well, even the people that you're trying to proselytize to, because this is NPR, by the way, NPR. This review is written by a black lady, and even she's saying the American Society of Magical Negroes. You don't want to join this club. That's tough. That's real tough. Let's read a little bit of this, because kind of crazy, because I've heard a couple of reviews of this. Frankly, just the commentary around it, it was like, yeah, no, it's terrible. They try to shoehorn in a rom-com that's in there, and for being a satire, you'd presume it'd be funny, but then at the same time, you try to rope in this whole, it's actually really tough to be a black person in America. Very analogous to the America Ferrera Barbie speech. He did it for racism, and she did it for feminism, and that pile of garbage. Two sides of the same coin, but it just goes to show you that I think society at large, not just any specific society, but society in general, is about done with all of this pandery, preachy bullshit. Lately, I've been musing on the concept of time and its relationship to black art and identity. This isn't even somebody that I would normally seek advice from in any form or fashion, but if we're on the same page on this one, you know you missed the mark real big. I keep bumping into the question, what time do we all think we're living in right now? The year of someone's Lord 2024, the recent episode of Feud Capote versus the Swans conjured up James Baldwin. I follow media quite closely. I've never heard of this. What is this? The same James Baldwin who once wrote, I don't like people who like me because I'm a Negro. What? Neither do I like people who find the same accident grounds for contempt as a magical Negro to Truman Capote. What are we doing? This is wild. A straight-faced excavation of this old Hollywood trope, which has been on the wane for some time, is startling enough. But now there's also Kobe Libby's future debut, The American Society of Magical Negroes, which attempts to skewer it. Comedy writer and performer imagines an underground network of black mystics who dedicate their lives to placating white people for the safety of black people everywhere. White discomfort, as one character opines, is the nemesis to black existence. What? I mean, it's kind of crazy, actually. But from what I'm hearing, okay, you're trying to set up a magical connected universe, R-to-R NCU, if you will, with a reveal at the end. Spoiler, but nobody's going to care about this. That the quote-unquote love interest at the end, not that one, the strong and powerful black lady who runs the American Society of Magical Negroes, but the racially ambiguous Lizzie, she's just there because, again, this is just another opportunity to take a shot at the fragile white guy. She's a part of a society of young women who are just there to placate the whims of angry men. It's like, what are you doing? Like, again, it's like, what's the satire supposed to be? It's supposed to be a racial satire? It's supposed to be a satire of how white guys specifically are super dangerous and the bane to society. It's like, okay, cool. We all have equal access to the crime statistics and can absolutely disprove that bit of mythology. But hey, man, feel free to push and peddle whatever you want. But when your film specifically designed to pander and cater to the wokest of us out there, and it doesn't even land for them, you know you messed up. And again, this is why trying to pander to that crowd, it's never going to be enough. For as bad and terrible as I've heard this thing is, because nobody's seen it, we have the receipts, $1.1 million in sales in 1,000 plus theaters across North America. Nobody's seen this stuff, but it wasn't enough for the black lady. But for the self-flagellating white guy, it actually wasn't enough. It didn't go far enough woke. The American Society of Magical Negroes, a bloodless satire that's too eager to please. This is why delving into that side of the political aisle, it's never enough, man. Leftism, not even once. Yeah, man, it was expected to be a dud. It was lampooned as a dud. Tried to shame you into theaters, but guys, this isn't 2020. This isn't 2021. This isn't even the beginning of 2022 anymore. Everybody's looking around going, your power here, media, it's not as strong as you think it is. You have no power here. It's done. It's dusted. We're entertaining ourselves. We're entertaining ourselves with mediums that don't hate us, and then also we're entertaining ourselves with the actual truth, not this racist fan fiction. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.